That's juicy. It's juicy, juicy fruit. Ooh, okay. Oh, ooh, Hey folks, David Thomas Tao with VinePair.com, and today I'm reviewing Bardstown Bourbon Company's Discovery Series number 11. And this one, a little near and dear to my heart. I'm going to show some bias because guess where I'm from? Bardstown, Kentucky. Guess where Bardstown Bourbon Company is? I'll wait. Anyway, let's talk about Bardstown Bourbon Company's Discovery Series. They started releasing these years ago. Again, this is number 11 because they wanted to highlight their blending prowess while the company's own distillate came of age. So they were sourcing barrels from all over the place, the United States and some from Canada. It was bourbon, it was rye. They had a number of different cask finishes. And they would put them together into blends that they released as the Discovery Series. It was like a more high-end version of their Fusion series. And it was about twice as expensive. This bottle retails for about 140 bucks. There are roughly 36,000 bottles released. They do release info on the bottle counts. This is a straight bourbon whiskey. All of the bourbons in number 11 are sourced from Kentucky. And this is the first Discovery Series release to actually include, I don't know if you can see it here, but they put all the info on the side, to actually include distillate from Bardstown Bourbon Company itself. It is 73% 13-year sourced Kentucky bourbon, 21% sourced 10-year Kentucky bourbon, and 6% Bardstown Bourbon Company distilled bourbon. So only 3 components in this blend. Some of these blends have a lot more components. These are always interesting. They're always different. Let's dive in and, ooh, we get to have a fresh crack today because the bottle I reviewed for the written review, well, they sent us 2 bottles. So, you know, you get to crack one on camera. That's fun. Ooh, nice. The corks aren't as heavy as they used to be. They used to have like the heaviest corks of the game. I actually cracked a tile in my apartment by dropping one of these once. They're a little lighter these days. I'm not a big like color tells you anything about the flavor guy, but it's a lovely, lovely dark copper on this. Anyway, so, ooh, a ton of nuts. A lot of ethanol too. I mean, this is 118 proof and it's certainly not nosing far below that. Spice cooked nuts. So I live in New York City and we have these like nuts for nuts snack carts that I've never seen anyone buy anything from, but they just like roast nuts. I think they're just selling scents. They're not actually selling. I've literally never seen anyone buy them. Roasted, spiced, sugar-coated nuts. A lot of that here. And a good amount of oak. So 73% of this is 13-year Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. You're not going to find something with this much 13-year-old bourbon in it for much cheaper than what this bottle is going for, certainly. And you get that oak. You get that, like, the depth of character on the nose you can really only get with well-aged bourbon whiskey. I'm not saying it has to be Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, but I tend to like Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. There's something really delightfully fatty about this, and I mean that in a good way, like brown butter and a little bit of fruit. There's a little bit of fruit under this. Lightly spiced fruit, like spiced cooked peaches. But this is really hitting like all the sectors of the bourbon aromas wheel the bourbon aromas wheel, that's totally a thing. This is really hitting all the sectors of aromas that I expect a blend of Kentucky straight bourbon whiskeys to really hit. So on the nose, really, really enjoying this, very pleasant. Okay, you know that like gum you have when you were a kid, the sugary gum, and it lasts for like 17 seconds? This lasts for even shorter. You get like 2 seconds of that pop of sweetness, that saccharine sweetness and fruit, and then you get more tannic elements, woody elements, more classic bourbon elements. I'm getting a little bit of leather, cinnamon, dark caramel, tobacco leaves. Okay, yeah, that's kind of fun. It's almost a little tart at the beginning too. Not like Sour Patch Kids, not like Warheads, but like a little bit of tartness at the beginning, which is nice because that tartness like sets a nice roadway for the sweetness and the tannic elements that come after. Kind of cool 1-2 punch. Kind of digging that. That influence from the oak. It's just like a little too much. It like teeters over into like just slightly over oak. Now, interestingly, there is younger whiskey in this. This is 6% 6-year-old bourbon. That helps balance things out, one would hope. Still absolutely delicious on the palate. But like there's a point where you're like, oh, okay, and then it reels back. But you get worried for just like a split second. Now the finish is long. It's both fruity and spicy. It's like I just ate baked apples that were covered in cinnamon sugar. It's fresh out of the oven. Smells like 118 proof. Drinks like 118 proof. Finishes like 118 proof. So you get that nice warm Kentucky hug. This would be a lovely cold weather dram. Gonna throw it out there. Bold, doesn't pull many punches, and really hits a lot of different components of what you want bourbon to taste like. So yeah, Bardstown Discovery Series, number 11, 93 points, almost scored it a little bit higher. if it weren't for just a tiny bit too much oak fluence in a few places. Really enjoyed this, and these are always exciting. I haven't loved all of them. This isn't my absolute favorite, but this is definitely top like quartile of ones I've tried from them. Really nice to see that they're leaning into keeping these blends complex, putting some great age stated products in the blend, and also the first one incorporating their own distillate, and they really stuck the landing. So kudos to Bardstown Bourbon Company. Disco number 11, as we say in the bourbon community. Let me know your thoughts if you've gotten to try this. I also want to know which of the Discovery Series releases you like most. Let's argue in the comments, back and forth, tit for tat. Let's do it. Until then, I'm David Thomas Tao. I don't know why I saluted. I don't know why I saluted. I just do that. It's fine. It's fine.